Delighted to be joined by Bojan, who is with us. He now plays for the Montreal Impact in MLS. Bojan, thanks for joining us and welcome to the show. First of all, just tell us a little bit about Montreal, because when you joined at the end of last year, there was one coach in place, and then there was a coaching change, and now there's a coaching change again. And you have your former teammate Thierry Henry, who's now your boss. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really happy to what we did in the end of last season to join Montreal Impact. That from the first day I felt like in really good on the pitch, really good on the city, and now this project you can see that is growing. We have Thierry as a manager. For me, still, it's difficult to see him, because was my teammate during 2 years, and now it's going to be my coach. But it's really good news for the club.
Have you spoken to Thierry Henry since his appointment?
Yeah, we started preseason.
Oh, you started preseason,
yeah,
and
pre-season,
what did he say to you was his hopes, or your own hopes for Montreal Impact this season? It's the hope that kills you.
Yeah, we want to be a competitive team. Montreal. It's been a long time that they are not in the playoff. We don't want to think in playoff. We want to think that we need to build a solid team. That every game we want to be competitive. We want to win, and let's see what happens in the end of the season.
See, the expectation for teams that have come into this league has changed because of the success of teams like LAFC and teams like Atlanta. And so now Montreal is kind of in that place where they're not quite where they need to be, and yet there is pressure. And there is an expectation to say, okay, well, if we're going to invest in Henry, if we're going to invest in players like Bojan, then we got to have the results. What kind of responsibility do you carry, and Henry and Montreal, in order to meet those expectations?
Yeah, I think the pressure you have in everywhere. For us, we know, like I said before, that the playoff is a target to achieve. But I think from the first day when I came here, I know we have a lot of teams, but we cannot think only about the playoff. If we want to be a good team in this league, a team that we want to improve, we want to grow, we need to be to win as much as games as we can, and to have a good idea, good philosophy, good mentality, and we can do it.
You obviously have Barcelona in your DNA. It's where you came through the youth academy and spent your first 4 years. Would love to get your thoughts on what you think about Barcelona right now. Obviously going through a transition period, if we can call it that.
Yeah, Barcelona is special place. There is one identity, one mentality to understand football there, and it's been 15 years where Barcelona was one of the best teams in the history, So it's difficult to be there every year. Now there is a period where they already changed the manager. You have the players that they achieve all this big history from Barcelona, and you can see that they still want to keep going. So that's important, and Barcelona is going to be always one of the best teams.
But are you surprised, though, that they make that decision in the middle of the season to make the change? Valverde out, Setien comes in, and how does that change the dynamic of a team like Barcelona?
Yeah, now, well, in football in general, I'm not surprised about anything. So it's like this, and the ones that they own the club, they decide to do it because they thought that is the best thing for the team, for the club. So you need to respect that, and now you need to believe that the new manager is going to bring the new mentality, trying to be in the Barcelona identity and winning games. That This is the most important.
Yeah, but at the same time, you have a team that's sitting top of the league, still competitive in the Champions League, still with the best player of a generation within their dressing room. Does that upset that chemistry? Does that change what expectations are for Barcelona at all?
That show you that it's not enough. So to be in Barcelona, you need to be more than that. It's good to be first in the league, to be in April fighting for all the competitions, but you need to play, win, and playing good. So that's why they won always. The pressure is really high, and Barcelona needs to be winning and doing well.
You were there, Bojan, at what seemed to be the end of the last era with Frank Rijkaard, 2008, the end of the Ronaldinho and Eto'o era. Does this feel like a similar moment for Barcelona where the sands are changing?
No, I don't think so, because in that time Barcelona, they didn't. It was like the years before.
Yeah.
The years before that period, they won the Champions League in Paris, but was not the same structure that they have now. I think now they are in a period that they cannot really find that type of play, but the players, they're still fighting for all the competition, so I think it's different scenario.
Were you surprised they went in the direction they did with Setien as the coach? Because it seemed like Xavi was someone that were very interested. You think Xavi could be a future Barcelona manager?
Yeah, Xavi is one of the big names in Barcelona, and he already said that. And in the future, you never know what's going to happen. Setien is a good manager. I think that he did well with the clubs that he was training, and I think his mentality is the perfect one for Barcelona. I really want to see what is going to he does.
Going back to playing for Thierry Henry, what do you expect from Henry as a manager, and how is that dynamic between you and Henry as former teammates and now coach and player? How does that change?
Yeah, I think Thierry gonna bring to the team the basics, how to press, how to want to keep the ball, how to need to be as a team on the pitch, out the pitch. We know that it's gonna be some games that we don't gonna win, and in that time you need someone that he have the experience to understand the dressing room, the players, and he's the perfect one for that. And I think, for me, like I said before, he's a friend. He was my teammate, but now it's a different situation. I always respect Thierry as a player, as a man, and now he's my coach. And what I want is to work hard, to give him my 100% to help the team, to help him as a manager, the club, to be competitive as a team.
Bojan, thanks ever so much. I meant to ask you, do you miss Stoke? No one has ever said they miss Stoke.
I miss Stoke. I want to Stoke to be in the Premier League. I miss that days in the Britannia Stadium,
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.